Mellow Yellow beats the taste of Mountain Dew, baby. Now this time, trying to wrap up the Van Damme movie reviews, I talk about a film that I liked okay. I liked the film. I don't love the film, but I liked it. And that's called Enemies Closer, directed by Peter Hyams. Definitely say it's not Peter Hyams' best collaboration with Van Damme. My favorite will always be Time Cop. That'll always be my favorite. For a direct-to-video film, I thought it was pretty decent, though. Jean-Claude Van Damme plays the bad guy. I thought he did a really good job with it. He's having fun playing the role as the bad guy. Pretty much it's about this park ranger played by Everett Scott, who's in American Werewolf in Paris, among many other films. Like I say, he's a park ranger. This guy visits him, played by Orlando Jones. He wants to kill the park ranger because Orlando Jones' brother was with Everett Scott overseas in the war. His brother died. He blames Everett Scott, so he wants Everett Scott to die. As he's about to kill Everett Scott, there's some lights, and Van Damme is there as well. He's got his son playing one of the bad guys as well, and a few other henchmen. They're trying to dive in to get some, I think heroin is the drug, some kind of drug. And so pretty much they shoot at our two leads and they hunt them. During the first shootout, the diver that Van Damme's crew gets shot and killed. So they need a diver, so they figure Van Damme's character figures pretty quickly that the park ranger probably knows how to dive, so they need him alive, and so they chase him. And that's really the movie. The two leads, Orlando Jones, who's going to kill Everett Scott, they have to work together to survive the night. I thought for a direct-to-video film, it was a decent film because it moved at a fast pace for me. It's not that long of a film. It's, I swear, about 70, 80 minutes long. It's not that long. I thought it was decently shot for a direct-to-video film. I will admit, some of the night scenes, well, they're supposed to be dark. They're night scenes. But they show shadows on the characters' faces. It's almost as if that was on purpose. Because I'm thinking, okay, some of the stuff happening, is it doubles? Or is it not doubles? I'm not sure. Which I'll get to that. But I thought some of the fights were pretty decent. Not great, but pretty decent. I wasn't confused during the fights. I knew what was going on. I don't think Everett Scott and Orlando Jones were bad. I don't think they were bad actors in the film. Van Damme was having fun. He plays a bad guy who's a vegan, and he's smiling, he's laughing. He has some pretty fun lines of dialogue. Van Damme's having fun, and it's nice to see a guy that I love, who a lot of his later films he's very glum and very serious. It's nice for him to have fun. Sort of I don't want to say tongue-in-cheek, but almost in that way. And I can definitely say Van Damme is the best part of the movie. It was fun to watch him. I think the thing is, Everett Scott and Orlando Jones would not be my two picks for these leads. And again, I would be lying if I said they did a bad job. But when Everett Scott is in a fight, I can't really buy it. It's as if Jason Biggs from American Pie was in a fight scene. If Mike Myers was in a fight scene. If... I'm trying to think of someone else. A guy that you can pretty much remember... I mean, Everett Scott, I remember him from American Werewolf in Paris and Dead Man on Campus with Mark Paul Gosselaar. I mean, I don't buy him as an action hero. Again, he's not a bad actor, but I just don't buy him as an action hero. And when some of the fight scenes, you don't see his face 100% of the time, so you're thinking, okay, that's probably a double. That move, that's probably a fight double as well. And I'm thinking, why hire Why? Why Tom Everett Scott? Same with Orlando. And I like Orlando Jones. And Tom Everett Scott's there. And to be honest, like, Orlando Jones I liked. And in fact, I probably would have bought him. I don't want to say bought because I didn't mind Orlando Jones. I probably would have preferred it if Orlando Jones was the lead. I think that would have been interesting to see Orlando Jones because I like Orlando Jones more than Tom Everett Scott. Tom Everett Scott's there. Orlando Jones I just like more, but I'm thinking, but man, what if this was Thomas Jane and Wesley Snipes playing either or role? You'd have Wesley Snipes as the lead. Wait, what? No, Wesley was still in prison. He was still in prison, okay? He wasn't out of prison. So Michael Jai White, okay? Michael Jai White and Thomas Jane. Yeah, Michael Jai White as the lead. And Van Damme as the bad guy. That'd be cool. It'd be a switch on Universal Soldier The Return. Where Van Damme was the good guy, Michael Jai White was the bad guy. You have Michael Jai White as the lead. Or you have Michael Jai White as the Orlando Jones character. And then you can have Thomas Jane, or you can have... Well, actually, yeah, this was 2013, so at the time, Paul Walker. I'd buy Paul Walker more. Paul Walker as the lead would have been really cool. I would have bought Paul Walker a lot more. I think he was still alive when this movie came out. I believe so. Yeah, he was, because he did Hours and he did Brick Mansions. See, Paul Walker would have been great. Paul Walker would have been a hell lot better than Tom Everett Scott. Just Tom Everett Scott's just there. I mean, I'm not going to say he's awful because I'd be lying. That's not how I feel. But he was just there. And I'm like, I'm stuttering. There are a lot of actors. Thomas Jane or Michael Jai White. Because why not have him? Michael Jai White, do you buy him as a park ranger? I don't know. Do you buy Tom Everett Scott as a park ranger? You don't buy him as an action hero? Michael Jai White, Thomas Jane, even Ben Foster. Or the guy, I forget his name, from The Collector. Can't believe I forgot his name, but he was in The Collector and The Collection. I know someone's going to type the name down below, but I can't believe I forgot his name. But maybe him, or Paul Walker. There's just a lot of people that I would like to see more as the park ranger. I think that would help the film tremendously. Just Tom Everett Scott, again, I don't know who was the idea to bring him in as the lead. Because I don't buy him as an action star, and he's not a favorite actor of mine. All those actors I named, I think, are much better than Tom Everett Scott. And Orlando Jones, he's okay, but those other actors I could have put in that role as well. It's just those two are weird picks. I know I'm 8 minutes in, I haven't talked about, but that's the thing. Those are two weird picks. Strange picks. Maybe that's the point that Peter Hyams wanted to go in. And Peter Hyams, I love him as a director. I love the 2010 Stay Tuned, The Relic, Time Cop, Running Scared with Billy Crystal from the 80s. There's a lot of End of Days. There's a lot of films Peter Hyams made that I love. This I would say I like. I mean, I definitely say I like this more than... I mean, I can watch... I forget what the fuck that movie... The movie that had a lot of problems during production. I brought up now, I can't remember the damn name of it. Sound of Thunder. Sound of Thunder, I can watch, but and be entertained by, but it's just not a finished movie in my opinion. Sound of Thunder, that's a movie that's not finished. You can tell the effects look like they're not finished. There's a lot of production problems that film went through. I would love to see if that film was actually finished. It seems like an unfinished movie. So I don't know, maybe I'm more lenient on that film for some reason, but it could have been better. But I don't know, I'm just being a lenient guy on that. But even the guy who's the lead in that film and Sound of Thunder, God, I forgot his name too. I'm forgetting names today. Edward Burns? Was that his name? Maybe that's not his name. I can't remember. Carl Urban. I'm just thinking of a bunch of names that would work better in these two roles, either or. But anyway, get into the movie. Like I said, Tom Everett Scott's a park ranger. He talks to this old man who's also on the island, checks in with them. You have a fun scene with Van Damme. Immigration services, they're working. This plane had crashed. Van Damme's thugs, they pretend to be Mounties, and they say, no, we don't want your help, because they want to know where it is so that they can find it. And so they pretend to be Mounties, they tell them, pretty much piss off. Then Van Damme comes in, and he's smiling. And he goes, do I look funny to you? Oh, I'm a vegan. Because he's talking about this, guys eating a burger, he's talking about cows and things like that, and people are laughing at him, and he goes, do I look funny to you? Well, what can I say, I'm a vegan, and he's laughing, and then he headbutts and kicks this guy, takes his keyboard, smacks it in the guy's face, shoots some, slits the guy's throat with a broken CD, like breaks the CD and slits the guy's throat. And then does this thing, which I'm not sure if Van Damme actually did this, though. This is what I'm talking about with the shadows. Like, either night scenes or shadow. Like, this scene is shot in shadow, so you don't see Van Damme's face, where he has a guy, and then Van Damme, the character, puts the legs up on a wall and does, like, an MMA takedown. I'm thinking, okay, is that Van Damme? Because I've never seen him do a move like that before. Or is that a double? And that's why everyone's face is covered with shadows. So that's why I'm like, that might be a double, because maybe Van Damme can't do that move. If he can, then there should not have been any shadows, so that there'd be no doubts. If he can't, that's why there's shadows, to hide the face. Which I would say is a better job than hiding doubles and sudden death, because that one, there's quite a few scenes I could tell that was doubled, and not Van Damme doing the fights. I don't know that's the thing with Peter Hyams. I don't know why, but so I mean with the shadow thing, I don't know, but is that Van Damme? But the rest of the stuff I could tell it's him doing it. It's pretty cool, vicious. Even slowly breaks this guy's neck, and he's like, think about the children. I think Van Damme does a fun job. He has this crazy reddish, almost like carrot top hair, and just a different look for Van Damme. It's almost as if you change a few things, it would be his version of the Joker, which I know that's maybe going too far, and it's put people's images in their head, which is not in the movie. But like I said, if you went in a different direction, you turned it up quite a few notches, it'd be sort of like Van Damme's, I don't know, just how crazy he becomes at times, and how entertaining as well. When he gets to Van Damme is definitely the best part of the movie. But, okay, Tom Everett Scott, let's see, he's a park ranger, helps this woman out, gets her laid better. At the same time, Van Damme, they're wondering what boat they should take, and Van Damme picks this overweight guy who's throwing beer cans in the lake. Because, again, Van Damme is a vegan, and he's an environmentalist, and he's also a crazy fucker, too. So, it's an interesting role for Van Damme, different. But Orlando Jones gets in to see Tom Everett Scott, pulls a gun on him, his brother was killed overseas, blames Tom Everett Scott, says that he's a coward, and Tom Everett Scott explains, saying, oh, I was ordered into a shitstorm, I had to protect my team, we had bad intel. They have a little fight throwdown, which again, I'm thinking, okay, how much is it doubles, and how much is it actually these guys? Because I don't really buy Tom Everett Scott doing, like, there's a certain flip like MMA would do or something, or maybe not MMA, but yeah, maybe MMA. I don't buy Tom Everett Scott. If it is, then they should have showed his face doing the move as well. Those little things, like, I don't think that's, I'm not sure how much of this are really these two guys doing it. As I said, I did to that scene where Orlando Jones, they go outside, about ready to shoot Tom Everett Scott. Van Damme finds them. Their diver's shot. Like, dude, Van Damme's fun. When he finds his diver's shot, he's kicking the boat, being pissed off. And he goes, shit happens. And then just covers the mouth of the guy dying and kills him. And then the guy goes, what the fuck are you doing? And Van Damme literally pulls a knife on him. He's like, ooh, you don't know how close he came. And then kisses the guy's forehead. Like, literally just in a smooth action, pulls a knife. Ooh, you don't know how close he came. And it explains the situation. We find the park ranger. We kill the other guy. Let's go. And then it has a smile. Again, Van Damme is having fun, so I'm having fun with that part. So I will say Van Damme is good in it. Again, the two leads, I would pick different leads, but I'm not going to say they were awful acting-wise. It just, I can understand, and even I'm part of that group, don't really buy these two in these roles. But at the same time, I've seen much, much worse. Hell, that fucking movie I just saw, Swelter, is much worse than this movie. That's why I like the film. It goes at a pretty decent pace. I never got bored with the film, at least to me. And Everett Scott beats this guy up, and they decide to work together. And then some men came in, some officers, and Van Damme takes him out really badass. He has a, I think it's a stick, and just beating the fuck out of a guy. And this is cool moment where a guy's here, and Van Damme just does like this. Stabs it right into the guy's neck. Just like a badass. And then does this and just stabs right into the other guy. I mean, this is a villain you don't want to fuck around with. So, great villain. I almost want to say I like this villain more than the villain he did in Expendables 2. I liked his villain in Expendables 2. But this villain is given more personality. And he's given more scenes to do as well. He's in the movie more than he is in Expendables 2. The thing about it, he only has a scene with the knife. They kicks the knife into the guy, which was cool. Once in a while, he's just talking about plutonium, and then the fight with Stallone. That's really it. Here, Van Damme's even more to do as a villain, so I think, as well as his villain, serial killer, and replicant, I think they're... I liked his role in Expendables 2. I think this and Replicant did that better, villain-wise, with Van Damme. Van Damme's having fun, he's smiling, saying some fun lines. That's what, this shit is what I want to see in Expendables 2. Van Damme just fucking people up. I mean, imagine Van Damme had that knife. There's some guys, just some soldiers, and he just takes a knife, just shoves into a guy's neck. Or does what he does in this film at the beginning, where he's just fucking these guys up with a knife, which I'll get to, which I really liked seeing that movie again. I wanted to see Van Damme do that in Expendables 2, but he doesn't do that. Just the one scene where he kicks a knife in the guy, which that was cool, but I wanted to see more. Like, again, this scene here with Van Damme. But pretty much, and then this reminded me of Brian Thompson in Fright Night 2, where he would take a bug, say the name, and eat it. But here Van Damme does it with plants. Oh, I didn't know you grew here, and then just would eat the plant. Again, because he's a vegan, and I thought that was a nice little touch. But our two leads, which I hate to say, the villain is much more interesting character than the leads. I think that's one of the problems of the film, really. One of the main problems of the film. They go to this old man's place, and then Van Damme does get there, and the old man decides to go out because he tells him to leave, and Everett Scott's like, I don't want to leave you. And the guy sort of sacrifices himself, gets shot. I think Van Damme's fun. Like, before that, when the guy's firing, Van Damme's going, oh, this guy's gone cranky. And Everett Scott shoots one. And Van Damme goes up to the old man and tells the story of this goose that he liked. It was his friend when he was a kid. And how his mom had cooked it up and made him eat it without him knowing. And he puked. And he cried like a child. And that's when I became a vegan. And I'm telling you, I had to kill her. And then just stabs the old guy. Again, Van Damme is great. And then he's talking about how blah, 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 blah. I forget the actual dialogue. No, that's not how they say it. They say, I'm getting real pissed. Some really good lines of dialogue from Van Damme. I can watch this for Van Damme. I thought he was great. And again, the two leads, I've seen much worse. I've seen much better, too. But, I mean, this is miles better than Dragon Eyes. This is miles better than Swelter. I think this is miles better than, say, even Desert Heat. or Black Eagle, or No Retreat, No Surrender. I think Everett Scott and Orlando Jones certainly did a lot better than Kurt McKinney in No Retreat, No Surrender. They're definitely better actors than that guy. I didn't say that. I like this movie a lot more than No Retreat, No Surrender 1. But Orlando fights some. He gets beat up. Pretty much he gets beat up, then hits the guy with the rock. Everett Scott makes this trap where a guy steps and the knife comes up, hits the guy right in the throat. Pretty cool trap. Let's see. I'm trying to think what happened next. I think that's when Van Damme's son. It's not his son. Well, it's not the character's son in the movie. It's his son playing this one of the bad guys. He falls this pit, gets hurt. They get some information with him. After Tom gets in this little fight. And again, they're decent choreography, but it's nothing great. It's okay. Like I said, I like the film, but the fights are decent. And then, again, how much did they do? And I mean, they're decent. They're okay. I've seen a lot better, though. And Orlando Jones saves his life, and they're really working together now. Van Damme's son tells him some stuff. They knock him out. And then pretty much Van Damme's talking about how he has that girl from earlier. You come over here, be my diver, and I'll let her go. I like that when he gets there, Van Damme's just drinking coffee, and he's smiling, and pretty much Orlando Jones is fighting Van Damme's kid, stabs him in the water, gets the girl while Van Damme and the Tom Everett are on the water. And in this twist, I don't really buy this twist. Apparently the twist, the girl was working with Van Damme the whole time, and I'm thinking, so while you're doing the Mountie thing at the beginning of the film, you have this girl on the island just talking with the park ranger? I just thought it was a lame twist. I thought, oh, okay, it's a lame twist. Because the girl's working with Van Damme, and then when they get back, first off, the girl killed a couple more cops that came in, shot him. Then when Everett Scott gets back, he doesn't know what's going on. And then Orlando Jones gets his struggle with the girl. And then Everett Scott gets his struggle with the girl and knocks her out. While Orlando Jones is trying to fight Van Damme because they switched. And Van Damme beats him up, gets a knife on him. Everett says, hey, I got your money. And Van Damme does something I thought, again, really good bad guy. Where he says the line, what was the line? I thought it was really cold-blooded. He says something like, you fucked up, baby. That's not good. And just breaks the girl's neck. Dude, Van Damme is cold-blooded in this, and just a lot of fun to watch. And then they get into this fight in the trees, which is different take. You know, not many movies that you have a fight in the trees. Because one climbed up and Van Damme climbs after him, and Van Damme decided, oh, we're going to play in the trees now? And, again, but it's in shadow. Of course, because they're in trees, so it'd be dangerous. Probably would have to be some stunt people, but I think you can tell that's why it's dark, much more darker in this scene, more shadows in this scene. But it was an interesting idea. But again, for all I know, it was all stunt doubles, and then once in a while you see their faces. But then Van Damme gets on the boat, and they really ripped off the ending of Die Hard 2, I gotta say. Because it's really the ending of Die Hard 2. It's John McClane on a plane, he gets kicked off, gets the fuel, and then lights it, and it goes up and blows up the plane. Same thing here, but it's on a boat. Where Van Damme hits him off, and the gas is leaking, lights it up, it goes up, and I do like Van Damme, though, where he sees it, fucking gasoline, I knew it would ruin everything, and laughs, and then gets blown up. Again, Van Damme is definitely the big part of this movie that I love. And again, the fight scenes are okay, they're decent. It's a short movie, so it wasn't that long. It's filmed decently, but Peter Hyams, at least by this time, should know how to shoot a film. He's a lot more talented than his son, John Hyams. I like this a hell lot more than the Universal Soldier Regeneration Day of Reckoning. Because I'll get into this story more. Van Damme is having fun in this movie. Yeah, to me, more to do. He's only in like 5 minutes of Day of Reckoning. The previous one, what, 10, 15 minutes? Has one good scene, the Call of Duty scene. That's it. And pretty much the movie ends quickly after. Orlando Jones gets him out of the water and the movie ends. I know this review is a lot longer than I thought it was going to be because I was sort of stumbling on certain stuff. Just like, how do you describe a fight scene? Usually in reviews you would just show a fight, but I'm always so wondering about copyright because there'll be two people who upload the same trailer. One will get knocked off, the other will be perfectly fine. So it's almost chance. Why do they call you chance? Because my mama took one. I mean, yeah, this doesn't approach anything like Hard Target or anything. Not a chance. But Enemies Closer, I had fun. I was entertained by Van Damme especially. The two leads, I would prefer Paul Walker, Margaret Jai White, Stone Cold Steve Austin, who he did a film called Hunt to Kill. And I would say I like Hunt to Kill more than this. Although it would have been cool if Van Damme was the villain Hunt to Kill against Stone Cold Steve Austin. That would have been awesome. That would have been great. Or have Stone Cold Steve Austin in this movie as a park ranger. Oh, you buy him as a park ranger? I'd rather have that than try to buy Everett Scott as an action hero. But again, Paul Walker I would buy more, and Margaret Jai White, and a lot of other people. Even an older guy, get like a Robert Patrick or someone else of that nature. That's just me though. But yeah, I think if you had two leads that you bought more into the roles, at the same time, I don't think they were awful at all. I thought they were okay. Like Orlando Jones, I liked. I think he did okay. I just think they could have been better. And the fight scenes, I thought they're decent, but it's not awesome, spectacular, or anything. And overall, I liked the film. I enjoyed the movie. And I would say, if you're a Van Damme fan, at least see it for Van Damme's performance. If nothing else. At least see it for him having fun in the role as a villain. Because he really stole the show in this. He did a great job. So anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. And we will see you later. Bye-bye.